All right. What is going on? Alright, Blue 5. What's going on? Happy, well, I shouldn't really say Happy Tuesday because yeah, I'm still kind of lost for words from what happened earlier, finding out of Lou's passing. So yeah, still pretty sad about that. We lost a real soldier, so we're we can definitely play some I don't know if this could fit the mood. Blue 5. Just let me know if that's oh man. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, we're all just at a loss for words, you know, not knowing what he was actually going through, you know, throughout this whole time, and just knowing, like, in general, like what he's done, like, in my opinion, what he's done for the whole retail community, you know, his family and everything. And what can I say, man? You know, he was honestly just looking out for us at the end of the day. So I posted something on Twitter because I personally met him during the New York City meetup, and I posted this at 7-Eleven, and I said not many would know what this man has gone through, but he endured through it all, and especially through the pain, even when he smiled, making us laugh. It was an honor meeting him in New York, and had a blast listening to his stories. Love him or hate him, he put retail first. So that was just my feeling towards it. You'll see the picture here. Let me just lower this just a little tiny bit. He was a tall dude. He was a big dude. He was like 6'2", 6'3". And I'm pretty sure he could mangle somebody with those arms that he had, you know. But overall, in my opinion, down to earth person, like, was for the people, with the people that day. And I remember it was such a huge crowd, literally in front of that one restaurant that we were supposed to go in and meet inside, but they couldn't take us all in, so we just had to stand outside of the restaurant. I forgot the name of the place, but yeah. And low-key was a good 100. I felt like there was like over 100 people in the crowd, kid you not. And it was a surreal experience, and I'm just telling you how it is, you know. Like, he was a man of his word, and he helped a lot of people. There has been some experiences where people felt different, and I get that. And it it's just tough overall, because like because he really was about, you know, the people. He was really about like those that are going through some tough times, and especially those who were also going through the same thing with cancer, any type of, you know, diseases or whatever the case is. Like he was just there to support them. And it's sad to see him go, like, because I'm really gonna miss, you know, his stories and everything. But I know in one way or another he's gonna come from above with a vengeance, and he's gonna help retail out and finally help us win this victory, win this battle. And he's gonna come strong with a force. And all of those people that doubted him and hated him and said all these nasty things about him, like, all I gotta say is what goes around comes around. So yeah, here's to a real one, and may he rest in peace. So but let's get back on track here. Let's get back to the show. Hello to everybody who was able to make it, who is here right now on the stream. OG the Star Killer, Blue 5, Elongated Popsicle, Zelly, Mark, and yeah, we're just here gonna do our usual thing. So thank you for everybody to be joining here. This is for Lou, and again, welcome to another edition of this stream with yours truly, Lion of All Trades. So don't forget to hit that like button, show some love, of course, and hit that sub if you haven't yet. Of course, I have to say the disclaimer, but anything that's being said here and on chat is just strictly in our opinion. Nothing is financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's hard to talk, you know, honestly, because I'm still in disbelief right now. But but you are your own decision maker of your money and your investments, as long as you're playing it safe, you're properly hedged, and you're making that money ball roll. So with that being said, we'll just go and look into GTII real quick and see what's going on. It happened on the 12th of March, as it was mentioned officially. So yeah, right around that time, yeah, it did feel a little eerie and interesting. But yeah, man. Blue 5. Anything that you want me to look up, let me know. Why don't you have a donation button? I guess I have to make it to a certain amount of subscribers in order to allow donations. I really don't know how to actually I don't know how to actually unlock that, but I hear that's the only way to do it. So shoot, if I can get to that point, then yeah, sure, man. But I really, that means a lot. And we'll see if we can continue this. Let me see. Yeah, I think eventually I have to be monetized or something in order to accept super chats and all this stuff, which I never had happen before. But yeah, damn. But also, if you well, I don't know, you wasn't in the stream, Blue 5, but I do have my Discord server officially open. So in case you want an invite, just let me know. I'll be glad to post the link on the chat. And let's get on to this real quick for Blue 5, because I know Blue 5 has a limit time. He has to sleep early. Everybody else here, if anything, if you want to look at certain tickers, let me know in the chat. I'll be gladly more than welcome to review it. So by all means, we'll take a look at what's happening here on the daily chart with GTII. We actually did mention about a potential pullback yesterday. It seems like that actually fulfilled, since the moving average exponentials, you know, the 8-day started to curl back down. The bearish bands here started to also curl down and expand. So we ended up coming into this pink bubble that I drew here too yesterday. So it's respecting that bubble, and we could have we could continue having more of a pullback, because we did cross on the MACD right here, and then eventually, if it continues, bearish case scenario, we would have to see this come back down to 26 cent region area, and then perhaps try to find a bounce from there. And addition to this candle right here where we saw the last bounce, let me just zoom in. Let me just zoom in here. Give me 1 second. As you see, it's been respecting this area here of support. In my opinion, we got a bounce here before, back in March 4th, before it actually reached to 34 cents, and then came back down to consolidate through here, through this range, and now we find ourselves here, a possible attempt to actually come back down and meet the support area here, and see if we can see that bounce happen. We'll see the other indicators, of course, and like I've showed you, MACD will be able to, you know, start coming down a little bit more, and then the RSI, as you know, it's also starting to come down little by little to cool off and see where it can bottom out, so then we can be able to see another bounce or another leg up to the downside. Not much movement on the TTM squeeze, but we'll see, because you know, since it's still kind of flat, it's not really telling us much, like whether if it's gonna actually come down a little bit, or if it's actually gonna stay where it's at and try for another bounce, or we're gonna actually see this come back down to where I mentioned before, and then have a leg up and try to retest those levels, resistance levels at like 28.30 cents. Go to the 4 hour, which I like to go on a lot. I don't know, I love the 4 hour. You can see the same thing with the TTM squeeze. You know, now we have this momentum going to the downside, which could potentially confirm, in my opinion, that downside potential, and then hit oversold on the RSI and then look for that bounce. Same thing with the MACD2 as well. We're just waiting for that. We're just waiting for that bounce. I want to say maybe around here, and hopefully we can see that sometime within the next 2 days, in my opinion. So let's just auto arrange this. Thank you. Oof, okay. Yeah, it says the same thing there too. Okay. So let me just quickly do some bubbles here in predicting the next move. So we can actually put this right over here. Hold on, I need to make sure. Since this didn't claim, since GTI didn't claim this bubble, green bubble, we're gonna actually move it because it's technically invalid. So we're gonna place this right over here for that type of guidance. Oh, thank you. CMG, is that that's Chipotle. That's Chipotle, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they're gonna do a 1 for 50 forward split because their stock is so damn expensive. I think it's still over $1,000. So people will be able to get it for a lot cheaper. Also, if you've been like dollar cost averaging into Chipotle for all this time that you've been invested in it, then you can definitely get a good bang for your buck and a lot more shares. And then I'd say like usually when that happens, we get a little either get a little sell-off and then find a nice level to get into, and try to see if if investors hop in at a more attractive price and try to bring it back up during the next year or so, just like Tesla did and Amazon, if you guys remember. When they had done a forward split. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, everybody loves Chipotle and eating their burritos and ending up, what the hell? And ending up, how do you call it? Going to the bathroom, detoxing it. Wow, how the heck did... Oh, that was weird. Huh. Okay. Something happened to my sound. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Just let me know real quick. We can definitely look at Chipotle real quick too after. Let's see the 1 hour real quick. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. So you can tell TTM squeeze is actually trying to find itself a little bottom there. RSI is kind of curling up, but just a little tad bit, and also the MACD is also trying to find some bottoming here before it starts to increase back in momentum and go to the upside. So even though there's some bands, red band here in the hourly, this could stay within this range, or it could do what it does. So Mad Gun, welcome back. Hello to you. And facts that it is a fact that I also got into GTII because of Lou, and if it wasn't for Lou, I wouldn't have known about GTII and Avitrader, unfortunately, and William too as well, William Ferrans, and I was actually, you know, well, I'm still a mod in William's channel, so yeah, that's pretty excited. I was just showing earlier, Matt Gunn, the post that I made on Twitter, and I met him in New York. So it's pretty much yeah, these were the pictures, and he really did meant well for everyone, meant well for retail. He was just looking out for everybody. I know there was some differences, you know, and I get that, you know, but you know, just yeah, exactly. He was just big-hearted. Yeah, sad to see him go, man. But yeah, you check it out for sure. Let's see what we got for cost to borrow. So as of 10:15 in the morning, from 9:15 to 10:15 in the morning, we had a jump in cost to borrow fees from 16.38 to 20.66. Then we still got a lot of shares available to borrow here, so they can short it down. But now you know, it's always 1,400,000 shares. And then we see a little bit of like a drop real quick. Wait, you was there? Bruh. I did it. Wow. I mean, small world. And then, of course, you're from New York too as well. So, wow. Did you take pictures too as well? And did you get a video with him? Let's see. Short share. Okay, so yeah, hold on. Real quick, you can see that the max to borrow here increased from 12.97 in the minimum to a max of 20.66%. What's crazy is that the volume compared from yesterday per FINRA to total volume was 601,208 shares traded yesterday, with a short volume ratio of 27.72%, and today was a total volume of 148,217 shares traded with a short volume ratio of 45.53%. Yeah, that's crazy, because like the last time we've ever had a dead, well, can't really say dead, I'd say like a very quiet day for GTII. It was here March 4th when it opened at 25 cents to a high of 27 cents, and the close at 27, with just 120,470 shares. So the fact that it had that many shares traded today, but as you can tell, you know, with the amount of shares available to borrow, I mean, it's in my opinion, for a cause of suppression in price. They're like trying to keep it down, but at the same time, just like it's still within that range. So low key, it's still, by all means, it's still gonna be around here. So until we potentially see something happen within this next week or so, in my opinion, we can either see a breakdown and then jump up, or we can just see it jump up right away. But you know, then it depends on the market conditions too. I drove him from Brooklyn, parked my car in the garage. No, I didn't get a chance to. He had a massive crowd with him. Yeah, that crowd was massive. So I was never expecting such a big crowd, such a big following. I mean, he pretty much did have a huge following. So luckily, you know, there wasn't no, like, you know, nefarious characters at the time. I'm like, yeah. But overall, it was a fun experience, honestly. So, but that's my take on it with for GTII. You know, just have that mentally noted with what I said. Those case scenarios. This is invalid, so I'm gonna remove this. So I'll just keep it like that. CMG real quick. I'm gonna go over. Oh wait, did I say over 1,000 shares? I mean over 1,000. Wow, I did not know Chipotle stock was this expensive. Hold up. What the hell is this? Yeah, somebody had the GF, the go F your mother shirt. Somebody had Baby Yoda and Utu. They had the there was a frame, a picture frame of him here. If you notice, somebody had this. This guy was the artist that made this, so I thought it was super cool. And there was like some like gold earrings there. So yeah, I thought that was awesome. Let's see. Yeah, but holy moly, look at this, huh? Who would have thought Chipotle stock would be so expensive? And to be, you know, I mean, it's hard to believe that a fast food restaurant such as Chipotle could be this expensive. Like you wonder like why McDonald's is not up here. I was referred here by William. He was saying something about the Bulls left Chicago and are entrapped in ZJYL. Why do I have a feeling that's Jeggings? Is that Moistly? Oh my God, I have a feeling. So here it's gonna be a 50-1 forward split on June 26th of 2024 Central Standard Time. So that's, I don't know what time that's gonna be. It's probably gonna be after hours. But 50-1. Oof, I think it's still gonna be an expensive stock, regardless. Yeah, Let's check ZJYL real quick too. Zelly, it's gonna be heartbreaking for you to see, honestly. But oh, hold on, ZJYL. Heartbreaking to see. I'm gonna see this on the 4-hour chart right now. Is there something going on with? Wait, what is this? Oh, what? What is going on? It doesn't let me view the daily chart apparently. Yeah, I don't know where Jeggings is, honestly. But all I can say is this is pretty nasty. We had a low of $3.02 for ZJYL, and the bands are very bearish and expanding with a potential bottoming here. But I don't know what this is. Okay, so this went to a high of 388 today, and then a low of 305, and then closed at 337, and then going back to 354 on the after hours. Unless they are actually finding this to be the bottom, I'm not sure. Quite frankly, I'm just not sure. TTM squeeze proven otherwise that, you know, we did get a break here, and it's we see some green bars, so momentum to the upside. But I mean, could this be potentially the long dip before the rip, or is it just gonna be a Debbie Downer and just gonna continue to fall? I mean, apparently there's earnings coming up for ZJYL. What we got? The 26th of March after market. And like I said, I really don't usually go over ZJYL. The only thing that was released by NASDAQ is that it had regained compliance. So it was at risk of being delisted, but then I guess they made it. They made the requirements to stay listed with NASDAQ. So I can't really do much about this, but because like I said, like I haven't really gotten too deep into ZJYL. I did try to, you know, scalp it, but it kind of backfired on me, and then I just got out right away. So that is what it is. Wow, what is going on? I think is there some type of connection issue going on? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we can just get right into Fngr and see what's up with that. Fngr right now, it looks like it took another dive, and we had mentioned yesterday's stream with the bearish case scenario of Fngr retesting major support level at $2, at literally like $2. And what do we have here? Fngr hitting a low of $2.01 and bouncing back to 205 where it closed. So more volume, more selling pressure compared to yesterday's volume at 101,650. Today we had 311,258 shares traded. But from what I can see on the MACD, it's kind of pulling further apart here. As you can see, the yellow line. Let me make this a little smaller. The yellow line is actually pulling apart from the red line, so we might see a more pullback. we could see a potential. I mean, if this is the case, NFA, we could see this break below $2 and test new day lows. But from here, we still have some room to cool off on the RSI before it bounces off the oversold line, and then see a reversal from there. Hopefully it stays within the $2 support level, and also the TTM squeeze as well, with just a little bit more momentum to the downside, in hopes that it can actually bounce right back over. So we just have to look at we have to look to see what's going on with that. I don't know if any of you guys have any updates on Fngr. Let me know on the on the chat. There hasn't been any big news whatsoever, any regular news besides the annual meeting that took place last month, and that was it pretty much. But it did fulfill the yellow bubble, so that was actually on point. If I can show you real quick the 4-hour chart, you can see it too as well really clearly, that it had indeed created a bounce within the yellow bubble, and hopefully that was indeed the bottom for Fngr. Bullish case scenario is that we have the pop right back over 205 and back to the 210, 215 region, and hopes to see a reversal happen. But we're still looking at this to be major support level. Hopefully it doesn't break below, but let's see what happens, because as you know, FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. with the meeting at 2:30. Fngr is in NASDAQ, so it's on the big board. So who knows if that's going to affect the stock a lot more, and having Fngr break below the $2 major support level. So that's that for Fngr. There has been a lot of red going on in general with some of the stocks that I have here, including GDC, down 6.25% of the day. PHUN dropping from 4.21% of the day at $10.02. We got CLNV, just barely 3 cents if anybody's still in there. OCGN was actually green. So if we take a look at OCGN real quick on the 4-hour, you can see that it looks like it's still maintaining levels here right around what is this, 105 to, what do we have here? Yeah, 105 to 110. It definitely is holding up here above the 21-day moving average exponential, and now over the 8-day, which it looks like it's holding a nice trend. In my opinion, it's actually holding a nice trend way above the 50-day, and looks to try to attempt to continue if it breaks over 110. And then we see a potential to try to retest the highs here at 120, 122, and try to break over that. Depending on what, depending on if there's any news that comes out based on the phase, the clinical trials that they're doing. Can't really get much into detail, but you guys do your DD, your research, and find out more about the clinical trial and what they're doing and what their purpose is as a biotech company. You'll be surprised. So in terms of earnings, apparently it moved forward. So earnings for OCGN says the 26th of March before market open, And that's all I can pretty much say about OCGN. There's not. I don't think that there's any bearish sentiment for me, because it's holding a nice trend. So we'll see what would happen tomorrow and before this week is over. And speaking of earnings at March 26th, GME's earnings is also on that same day, after market. And for some reason, GME has been going through one heck of a bearish divergence here, as it on the 4-hour chart, it fulfilled a death cross, and the other EMAs dropping below the 200-day in such fashion that it looks pretty ugly. And we could there is possibility that it can continue and we can break below 1340, 1330, depending on what the market does too as well during FOMC, because it's still moving with the market regardless until something happens, whereas other people have talked about stocks like AMC and GME decoupling from the SPY, and therefore those stocks and a different number of other stocks within the same basket, if you want to call it that, that would actually trade inverse of the market and see a lot of crazy volatility and maybe some nice pops to the upside. So let's say if that's not the bearish sentiment for GME, then what about the bullish? What about a bullish case scenario where this could hold around this range here between 1335, 1350, and finally call this the bottom? As you can see, GME on the MACD on 4-hour chart potentially finding that bottom. The RSI is way oversold. If you can see right here, crossing here, the blue line showing that example, and hopefully we can see the bounce and the TTM squeeze too as well, like approaching that bottom as well. Right there, you zoom out. It looks like it had been retesting that a lot. 1, 2. So we have to look out for that before end of week. So if it's oversold, let's check out the daily. Okay, so we did get a bounce here. There's a wick on the bottom, so it did close at 1341, but it was a low of 1330, so that makes sense. So look for this as a potential bottom, and if it does fail to hold that bottom there around 1330, 1335, I'd say the next level would be around 13 to 1350, just by looking at like where it touched a lot before in the past with those wicks. So I'm just looking at that. And so speaking of GME, we'll look at AMC real quick and what that did today, as it actually stayed a little bearish as well. And it took the pink bubble. Bands are actually moving down more as well. But what are the odds of AMC now trying to break below and retest the low of $4 at support level, because you can see that it had done that in the past too as well, with the exception of that big dip that it happened with the talks of dilution and all that stuff. I think that's what happened there that day, and went down to 359 and then had a huge bounce back over $4 and then started its rally. But if we can hold that and then bounce back over 450, that would be the bullish case scenario. But if it stays with this trend, as you can see here, we could pull back, hit $4 and try to retest and bounce back over 420. So that's what we're looking for in case of those two sentiments there. Not going to go much into AMC like that. GDC. Let's see, GDC staying within the range, right around 133, 140, 143. I think was the close after hours. So this is invalid. We can remove that. We can remove this too. This can definitely be at the bottom here and try to bounce back over. How did that fall? Oh wow, holy crap. How did that? Oh, was that a go? That was weird. Just randomly fell out of nowhere. Whew. I believe jeggings are a mixture of leggings and jeans. I appreciate your answer. Makes me wonder why jeggings name themselves jeggings. Must really like women's apparel. Would you know anything about this? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Oh boy. What else are we I know Mark was looking at PHUN before. I'll go over PHUN real quick. Oh my god, where is this? Hit a low of $9.30. Wow. Today, around after market open, and took a nice dump. 9.30 back to a high of $10.20. Back down to 9.88 up to 10.35, and then closed at $10.02 and hit about 10.16 after hours. So it's really looking for that. It's really looking for a bottom here. Perhaps looking for the next leg up at this point. Something like this. And retest the 200-day moving average exponential at 1120, 1122. Let's see. Let's check the indicators right now. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like a bull flag to me. You know, you have this and then we have a breakout. That's what it's looking like for me. This is exactly what it's looking like. Yep. Like a little pennant and then a little breakout. So this has potential to actually move back up. Can retest over 1070. And then next level $11 if bullish. Bearish case scenario, it falls back down and hit this level around 950 and bounce. What else did we go over? Let's go over AQST. Let's see. AQST here. It seems like it actually had some news. So here's the latest with AQST Therapeutics. So it actually dropped heavy. Down, I believe it was like more than 15% down after hours, because they announced a proposed public offering of the common stock. The size was not yet disclosed. Let's see. Yeah, it had announced plans to sell common shares in an underwritten public offering. It didn't say how many shares it would offer, although it does plan to grant the underwriters an option to buy up to an additional 15% of the shares. And the company has about 73.3 million shares outstanding, according to FactSet. AQST intends to use the offering's proceeds mainly to advance the development and commercialization of its product pipeline, including anaphylim sublingual film for the treatment of severe life-threatening allergic reactions, and Libervant buccal film for the treatment of seizure clusters in epilepsy patients aged 2 to 5. That's groundbreaking. That's really interesting. Before that, they had a price target from an analyst at H.C. Wainwright to $9 a share from $7, maintaining a buy rating. And JMP Securities, the 15th, adjusted their price target on AQST Therapeutics to $10 from $8, maintain market outperform rating. So some of these analysts are actually leaning bullish at a buy for AQST Therapeutics, so maybe this offering could be some type of sign of more investors trying to get in at a good price, especially from that offering, in my opinion. And hopefully we can be able to see a bounce here. Back from here, give us a morning star and push right back over $5 and hold the trend, like how you see here, how it's been holding above the 50, the yellow line. How we had a bounce here like that, and then have another bounce over the 50-day, which could be possible. But if not, we might drop back to 425 and it continues. Maybe find a bottom around there. We'll see what happens if the reaction continues to be bearish because of this news. And then you have the 200-day EMA at 370. So it's kind of not nice for me because I did have calls. Not financial advice. But yeah, that's for that. What else can we? So if there's any other takers, you guys let me know. What's up? If not, then I'm gonna move into Bitcoin real quick, because as of right now, well, actually I think before the time reset on Bitcoin, I think it was probably around 7 o'clock, where it was actually down. It was actually down over, I think, over 8.50%, and Bitcoin was down like over $5,000, which was this. I'll show you, which was actually this candle right here, and then here too as well. It had followed, but then bounced off the 200 SMA. But now that we see this bounce actually weakening again, it looks more bearish, and it has potential to actually break below the 200 SMA and continue to the downside and probably face 60K. And in the midst of the FOMC meeting and everything like that, so just imagining how, you know, things could go, whether you know, they do cut rates or whatever the case scenario is, and if it actually tanks the market, I'm pretty sure you know, Bitcoin can do the same thing. There was news here based on the halving event that's supposed to take place next month, and here we can read by news at BTC that apparently, supposedly, Bitcoin having retrace spooks investors, and what is it and why does it matter? And the whole idea is that there was supposed to be a Bitcoin price crash over the before the halving event, and then from there, after maybe a couple of weeks later after the event, there's supposed to be a bull market, a bull rally, whatever you want to call it, and then finally see Bitcoin start to reach, you know, those high levels of resistances. So there's some analysts that are calling for Bitcoin to actually drop back down to 40K before before the halving in April, which should be around here. So I mean, what if it has like somewhat like of an effect like that, and then April comes, and then all of a sudden we have a rally afterwards. Imagine that. Like, what are the odds of this happening, right? And the last time Bitcoin was ever around 40,000 was back here in the last week of January, when this was at 39K, before we actually had a massive rally from there all the way to the all-time high of over 73K, before it starts to come back down. Now, the only thing you can see that kind of confirms with the sell-off that's happening right now ever since March 14th, 73 to where it's at now at 62K. You see the 50 SMA potentially meeting with the 200 and seeing a death cross happen, where we just see a massive sell-off and reach new day lows throughout the weeks. Hey, Urban Girl, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for showing up on the stream. I appreciate it. Everything's okay, you know. Just feeling a little sad. We were talking about Lou versus Wall Street. He had passed away on the 12th, and yeah, it was a big loss. Lost a good guy within the community, and that really helped out a lot of people, in my opinion. So I feel that that's something to take into consideration and acknowledge, what he really meant to a lot of people and retail in general. I know, like I said, other people, might feel different, but love it or hate him, he was always for retail and helping the family out. So rest in peace for Lou. And yeah. But how's it going with you, Urban Girl? And we can actually talk about the spy. Good thing that you mentioned that. So let's see what's going on. Wow, I had some drawings here, and just to see what the heck happened here, because there was a potential. Let me see. Maybe the spy could be topping out at this point. Don't quote on me. We could see somewhat of a triple top. Or what this actually reminds me of is Head and Shoulders. So we could, like, it actually surprisingly met back up with the trend line here that I had drawn about maybe a few days ago. So I mean, the odds of this actually trying to bounce right back over, I mean, who knows? I mean, back to 518, maybe. As you know, like, I tend to lean a little bearish with the SPY. As you know, that, you know, if you know how I feel about the SPY and how I feel about the economy supposedly being strong and whatnot, I find it hard to believe that, you know, SPY could continue to, you know, be propped up and stuff and continue to follow. But the thing is, as of right now, it's looking a little weak. So I find it hard to believe that that's going to be the case, where it just bounces right back over. But let's say things happen during FOMC and we completely lose resistance and fall back under the trend line and start its descent down. So I might have to redraw this, of course, because you know, if one drawing doesn't work out, of course it invalidates, and then we have to, you know, go back to the drawing board and see what really does make sense. So, you know, if it was from here, you know, I feel like perhaps you can see, let me see something. Oh, I can actually, oh, that's interesting. Well, I'm just going to remove it and then try to redraw it from here. Let me see how I can actually redraw as a channel, maybe. So you might, oh, thank you. It's good to catch you on here too as well. Thank you, Bringo. And thanks for always showing love to the stream and hanging out with us here. So I'm glad that you're doing great too. And hopefully you've been accumulating your position on GTII. So I know that you've been you've been stacking it up. All right, so okay, so what are the odds, right? So if it, let's say if it breaks over, right? You could have that happen, but if something goes terribly wrong during FOMC, we can see a lot of volatility happen where it just completely goes crazy. For example, right? For example, how we had this big drop here March 15th. A big $5 drop from 513 on the high to a low of 508. We could probably see one of those big candles happen during FOMC in just a matter of minutes, as you've seen in the history, as you've seen in the past. You know, I mean, either way, you know, whether it will go down or it will go up, like the volume would be massive and the volatility would be crazy, and it will go, you know. That's why it's like a lot, like it's just really risky to even play it, you know, in my opinion, because I had experience with that where I did good and at times where I did bad, because obviously, you know, we're not perfect at all as investors. So, you know, we go through these trial and errors no matter what. But, you know, right. It is, well, actually, if you think about it, the long term in the past, it had been in the uptrend for such a long time, ever since the bottom here at 408 back in around October 30th, and continuing up within this range here. What we thought supposedly here would be the peak and then started to drop from here, but it wasn't the case, and then it started to retest and regain strength and now follow this trend, this channel here, all the way up to where we are now. And now we find ourselves again at a similar scenario with the SPY, as it now tops out. So now we have here 3 tops. You might as well call it a triple top, or head and shoulders on the 4-hour, where you can possibly see this start to come right back down and start hitting those lows back down to 512, and possibly if things go crazy and drops like crazy, you know, we could see this back over, you know, under 510, 508, and if all hell breaks loose, then you already know there's always a possibility of this to try to meet up back where this wick ended, around this range. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to zoom in just a little tiny bit. So my thing is, it could come back to these levels here. You see this wick touching that level too as well. So 504, you know. So if we top out and we end up seeing that trend come back down, then we can see 504 in the near future. So that's just my take on it. My opinion, not financial advice, of course. Doing good on GTI so far. Any move up is profit. Nice position to be in when the average is 21 cents. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. I did go over GTI in the beginning, so it does have, again, it does have potential to pull back just a little tiny bit and try to go for between 25.5 to 26 cents, and then perhaps try to find that bounce again. and just try to fight the range, try to fight trading within this range, and finally breaking over 32 cents and go up to test new highs. So yeah, we just got to see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have so far, in terms of just recapping these stocks. Oh, thank you. Thanks for pressing the like button. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the vibes and everything. I appreciate everyone's positive vibes and just, helping out and showing the love. This is what it's all about, just doing what I like to do. And, I would love to hear from other people too as well. Like, feel free to, teach me something, share some information, can chart any ticker and, give my opinions, NFA, and we'll see what we can do with that information as long as it benefits all of us and making something out of it. So, I mean, that's what the platform is here for. This is why I stream. And of course, I'm gonna leave the timestamps under the description. I'm gonna start heavy now, like just trying to make sure everything is good, Gucci, and you see the timestamps of where I talk about specific tickers, so that way you save enough time and not having to go through the whole stream after this stream is over. And hopefully it helps you out. So I think I'm just gonna end it right there. Not much for me to review now. As of right now, I'm just waiting on FOMC and what happens tomorrow. So please do look out for that. Look out for that. And make sure you stay tuned for more further updates, and the next time I go live, which is usually around 8 o'clock Eastern time at night. One of these days I hope to finally do a stream where I'm actually streaming during market hours, but I would have to quit my job. But yeah, sooner or later, it's my plan for now. Other than that, I do have my Discord set up, so feel free to check it out. I believe the link is in the chat. I'm gonna pin that information right now. Does it take me to the let's see what happens. Okay, so yeah, the link is in the chat right now. So if you happen to have Discord, if you want to, feel free to join the team, to join the familia. And feel free to share about yourself and anything of your experience. We gladly appreciate it, and your vibes as well. And I have a awesome person here with ideas, with specific potential plays, and so by all means, feel free to join. Link right above. Thank you once again for joining me on the live with yours truly, Lion of All Trades. Thank you for sharing the love, as always, hitting that like as you come in and as you leave the stream. And until the next time, thank you. Also to Blue 5, Elongated Popsicle, OG the Star Killer. I haven't seen him in ages, so shout out to him. Shout out to Mad Gun, Mark Maddox, Urban Girl. Shout out to Mark R, J Pong, Barbara, Jeggings, Maddie, Matt K, and Zelly. Thank you, as always. One and only. Thank you. Much love. Big hearts. Big hugs. Giant hugs. Like Lou used to say a lot. Giant hugs. Oh, I'm gonna miss that so much, man. I'm gonna go back to his videos and rewatch some of his stuff. And one of the lines that he used to say a lot also. And you'll never mistreat me again. I'm gonna miss him a lot, and so shout out to Lou in heaven, and may he rest in peace. So yeah, thank you all for joining, and you guys have a great day, a good evening wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next stream. Take care, everyone.